My thoughts still seem to wander to my long, horrid, snowy trip through the San Juan Mountains. I will never forget how it changed the course of my life forever. My trip started in the winter of 1873 and lasted till 1874. I joined a group of men who were heading to the mountains of Colorado to look for gold. The group was made up of myself and 5 other men, named Miller, Noon, Humphrey, Swan, and Bell. It was February now, and let me tell you, the weather here in the San Juan Mountains was horrible. It was always cold, and oh boy did it snow. Our food was running low, and we didn't see any animals we could shoot. One night we ate flour mixed with snow, and other nights we didn't eat at all. Then Noon had an idea. He said, "Tonight for dinner we will eat my moccasins." So we pulled the hair off and we boiled it. The next night Bell gave up his moccasins, and then soon I gave up mine too. Then we were really out of food. All we could find to eat were rosebuds. By this point, all the men were so very cranky. We didn't know what would happen first, starving to death or freezing. Swan was an old one and was just about gone. Bell stopped talking. He hadn't said a word for 2 or 3 days. That night we sat around a campfire. We prayed, we shouted, and we cried. All we wanted was a little salt. The next day we found some rosebuds and pine gum. The pine gum made us weak. We couldn't swallow it. That night we came to a lake. We thought we could fish, but the water wasn't deep enough. There were no fish. We broke through the ice. We all thought that was it. We all let it sink in, that we were going to die. But somehow we made it through another night. Then came the next day. I told the men that I'll go up to the ridge and see if I can tell where we are. I was gone all day. When I got back to camp, Bell was crouched down next to the fire. As I got closer, he grabbed his hatchet and he came after me. I yelled so loud, "What's the matter, Bell?" But I tell you, he didn't answer. I had to move fast. It was me or him, and I wasn't taking that chance. I grabbed my gun, and I shot him. Bell was dead. When I looked around, there by the fire was the rest of the men's bodies. There was meat lying next to one of them. It had been cut from their bodies. The next day, I tried to leave camp. I really did, but I was so weak. I wasn't gonna make it anywhere like this. When I got back, I ate a little meat from the bodies. I had no choice. I was starving to death. I had no feeling for what I was doing. It made me sick, but I had to eat it. I was gonna die if I didn't. I tried to leave camp again the next day. I made it to the lake, but I had to come back because the weather was horrible. Finally, it got warmer. I was able to leave. I cut off a little meat from the bodies, and then I left. It was April before I finally made it out of the mountains and down to the Indian Agency. The trip was long and horrid. I thought I was going to die, and their meat ran low. I didn't think I was going to make it back, but I did.